Today we're going to be diving into something that sounds like you're really interested in.
Yeah.
And you sent over a lot of info about it. And that is finding natural ways to prevent and even reverse hair loss.
Okay.
You sent a really interesting piece about like 12 different home remedies.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're really interested in figuring out what actually works,
Right.
especially without having to resort to medication, which, you know, a lot of people are a little wary of.
For sure.
And looking at your notes, I see you're worried about potential side effects. You want to understand, like, the root causes of hair loss.
Yeah.
And you want something practical, like you can actually do something about it.
Exactly.
So are we ready to get to the root of all this, so to speak?
Let's do it. I think it's really smart to look beyond just like Band-Aid solutions because hair loss can be a sign of a bigger imbalance in the body.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of people just jump to genetics as the only answer.
Right.
But this deep dive is showing me there's a lot more to the story. Like, this whole DHT thing,
Yeah.
I admit I need a bit of a refresher there.
Okay, so dihydrotestosterone, or DHT,
DHT, yeah.
it's like the supercharged version of testosterone.
Oh, okay.
And for a lot of people, it's the main culprit behind hair loss.
Got it.
Essentially, what it does is it shrinks hair follicles, which leads to thinner hair, and then eventually no hair.
Oh, wow. So it's like attacking the hair at the source.
Exactly. And a lot of the medications out there are focused on blocking the enzyme that creates DHT.
Okay.
But what's fascinating is that natural remedies can sometimes achieve similar results,
Oh, wow.
sometimes even more effectively,
Really?
and without the unwanted side effects that you're concerned about.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now, something that really surprised me in these sources you sent was fluoride.
Uh-huh.
I always thought it was just good for our teeth.
Yeah.
Apparently it can mess with our hair, too.
You're right to question that it's true that fluoride is good for your teeth, but research is showing that it can also interfere with thyroid function,
Oh.
which is super important for hair growth.
Interesting.
There was one study that found that high fluoride levels were associated with a significant increase in hair loss.
Wow. I never made that connection.
Yeah.
So is avoiding tap water the answer?
Not necessarily. You can still drink tap water, but using a shower filter can make a big difference.
Oh, okay.
Because that way you're minimizing the amount of fluoride that actually comes in contact with your hair and scalp.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a simple change that can have a big impact.
Okay, good to know. Now, what about sulfates in shampoo?
Yes.
I see those mentioned all over the place.
Yeah.
Are they really that bad?
They can be.
Okay.
So sulfates are what give shampoos that foamy lather that we like,
Right.
but they can also strip away natural oils and proteins that your hair needs to stay healthy.
So it's like using a harsh detergent on delicate fabric or something.
Exactly. Hair is basically made up of protein, and sulfates can weaken those bonds, leading to breakage.
So maybe a gentler approach is needed.
For sure.
Speaking of gentler approaches, let's talk about some of those natural remedies.
Yes.
Because some of these seem a little out there to me.
Okay, like what?
Like onion juice
Oh, yeah.
and green tea
Okay.
as things that could help with hair loss.
I know, right? They might sound strange, but there's actually some science to back them up.
Okay.
Onion juice and green tea both have compounds that can inhibit DHT.
Hmm.
And as we know, that's a major player in hair loss.
Yeah.
One study actually found that applying onion juice to the scalp led to significant hair regrowth
Really?
in people with alopecia areata, which is an autoimmune disorder that causes hair loss.
Wow. So it's not just an old wives' tale.
Nope.
And green tea. That's interesting, too.
Yeah,
I guess if those antioxidants aren't just good for our insides.
exactly. It seems they can work their magic on our hair as well.
Huh.
Another natural remedy that deserves a shout out is rosemary oil.
Oh, okay.
Studies have actually shown that it can be as effective as minoxidil, which is a popular hair loss medication.
Hey, rosemary oil, like the stuff I use in cooking?
Yeah.
No way.
Pretty remarkable, right?
Yeah.
Researchers believe that rosemary oil improves blood circulation to the scalp
Okay.
and stimulates hair follicles.
So it's like waking up your scalp.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And the best part is it's generally safe
Right.
and well tolerated, unlike some medications which can have side effects.
Yeah. Okay. I'm adding rosemary oil to my shopping list.
Good.
But it sounds like what we put in our bodies is just as important as what we put on our hair.
Absolutely. Nutrition is key when it comes to hair health. We've already touched on fluoride and its potential impact on the thyroid,
Right.
but other deficiencies can contribute to hair loss as well.
Like what?
Zinc is a big one.
Okay.
It's crucial for cell growth and repair, including the cells that make up our hair follicles.
So it's like the building blocks.
Yeah, and studies have linked zinc deficiency to hair loss, and more specifically to telogen effluvium.
Telogen effluvium.
Which is a type of hair loss that's triggered by stress, hormonal changes, or nutritional deficiencies.
Oh, wow. So if we're not getting enough zinc, our hair might be the first to suffer.
It can be a sign.
Wow.
Foods rich in zinc include oysters, red meat, pumpkin seeds.
Okay.
And if you're struggling to get enough zinc through diet alone, a supplement might be worth considering.
Noted. Now, something else you mentioned in your notes was hair loss and the keto diet.
Yes.
Since the keto diet is so low in carbs, could it be a protein issue?
That's definitely a possibility.
Right.
You know, hair is primarily made of protein. So if you're not getting enough, it can lead to hair loss, especially if you're cutting back on certain food groups like in keto.
Right.
Also, you need to make sure you're getting enough trace minerals.
Trace minerals.
Which are essential for a whole host of bodily functions, including hair growth. Things like sea salt, seafood bone broth are good sources.
Okay, trace minerals, got it. Now, I know a lot of people swear by biotin for hair growth. How does that fit into all of this?
Biotin is a B vitamin that's essential for the production of keratin, a key protein found in hair. Yeah. But what's interesting is the connection between biotin and gut health.
Oh, really?
So a healthy gut can actually improve biotin absorption.
Interesting.
So if you're looking to boost your biotin levels naturally, focusing on gut health is a good place to start.
And how do we do that? More kombucha.
Kombucha can be helpful, but things like sauerkraut are fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a good source of probiotics, which are those beneficial bacteria that support a healthy gut.
Got it.
And as a bonus, sauerkraut is also a good source of vitamin C.
Oh, wow.
Which aids in collagen production.
Oh, okay.
Another important factor for healthy hair.
It's amazing how everything is connected.
I know, right?
Like our gut health, what vitamins we're absorbing, it all impacts our hair.
It really highlights the importance of a holistic approach to hair health. And speaking of holistic, we can't overlook the role of hormones, particularly for women.
Right. Hormones. Does estrogen play a part in this?
It definitely can. Fluctuations in estrogen levels, especially during menopause, can contribute to hair loss.
Okay.
But what's interesting is cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, they contain compounds that can actually help regulate estrogen levels.
So eating our veggies can help balance our hormones and maybe prevent hair loss.
It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
And you can also incorporate iodine-rich foods like seaweed to support your thyroid.
Okay.
Which we know is closely linked to estrogen balance.
Got it. Now, for individuals with PCOS or high androgen levels,
yes,
are there certain things that can be done to help with that in terms of hair loss?
Yeah, so approaches like a ketogenic diet or intermittent fasting can actually be very helpful in regulating insulin, which has a positive effect on hormone balance overall.
Okay, so much good information here. It's clear that hormones play a huge role in hair health.
They do.
And speaking of things that impact our entire system, we can't forget about stress.
Right.
I know from personal experience that stress can really do a number on my hair.
Absolutely. Stress is a major trigger for hair loss.
Yeah.
And it can often lead to a condition called telogen effluvium.
There's that word again.
Where hair follicles prematurely enter a resting phase.
Okay.
Causing your hair to shed.
Which is what happens to me. I just start shedding hair like crazy.
Exactly. So managing stress is crucial.
So besides avoiding stressful situations, which is often impossible, what can we do?
Getting enough vitamin D sunlight, prioritizing sleep, regular exercise.
Right.
All those things can help reduce stress and, in turn, mitigate its impact on your hair.
So true. It's all about taking care of ourselves mentally and physically.
Right, exactly.
Now, before we wrap up, are there any other sort of like hidden gems when it comes to hair health that we haven't touched on?
Yeah, I would say selenium and silica are a couple of good ones.
Okay, tell me more about those.
So selenium is a trace mineral that's crucial for thyroid function.
Okay.
And as we know, that's important for hair growth. Brazil nuts are an excellent source of selenium, as well as seafood and seaweed.
Got it. Brazil nuts for the win. And what about silica?
Silica is a mineral that helps strengthen hair, skin, and nails. You can find it in spring water or silica-rich water.
Okay.
And it's thought to improve the elasticity and resilience of your hair, making it less prone to breakage.
Wow, we've covered so much ground here. It's clear that there are a ton of natural remedies for hair loss.
Yeah.
From dietary changes to topical applications to lifestyle adjustments.
You got it. And I think the most important thing to remember is that hair health is really a reflection of your overall well-being. So by addressing any underlying nutritional deficiencies or hormonal imbalances or chronic stress, you're not just treating the symptom, but you're addressing the root cause.
So maybe hair loss is just our body's way of trying to tell us to slow down, nourish ourselves, and take better care.
I think that's a really powerful way to look at it.
This has been such an insightful deep dive. It's given me a lot to think about, and I'm sure it's the same for you listening. So remember, keep researching, experiment with what resonates with you, and of course consult with a healthcare professional for personalized advice.
Absolutely.